Are you ready?
Baby, we done it. We're rich, baby. Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
I said, are you ready?
Swung line to deep left field. It is gone! You should see the celebration out of the Indians' third base dugout. Rajay Davis, a bullet.
And here we go.
For the We Like Sportz Podcast with the hosts you love, Riggs, Keith, and Peyton.
Welcome to the We Like Sportz Podcast.
With Riggs, Peyton, Austin, and I apologize.
You called him Austin?
He's got a mask on.
You couldn't tell who it was.
I really couldn't. I can't even see with these shades on, but we hope everyone's having a good day. You guys ready for a great show today?
Right, because
it's
Keith
Parker
Pierce.
Yeah, it's Keith, Peyton, Riggs, and Parker.
I want to clarify this. The only reason I'm wearing the mask, it's not really for my safety. I'm just hoping it fogs up my glasses. That way all I have to do is hear him and not look at this much.
Wow.
So I'm hoping these fog up nice and quick so I can't see anything.
I hope you have a heat stroke.
Oh, I probably will.
All right, Tyler, play the TikTok. I'm tired of hearing Parker.
The internet pretty much only lets us fire white male, so if you're not a white male, you're safe.
So is Derek Jeter safe?
Safe.
What?
He's half black.
Why? What do you need? Glasses?
No,
He's white
I don't
by a
need
mile.
glasses.
He
You're
tucks
the
his
one who needs
t-shirts into his
glasses.
pants.
A lot of
And
people
what happened
do that.
to this kind
It's
of
a body
coach-umpire
temperature issue.
confrontation?
I
He used to
know,
have
I
it a
miss
lot
it
in the
too.
70s, but doesn't
Replay
seem to
has
happen
really
that much
taken a lot
anymore.
of intimacy
It's a
out of the
connection to a
game.
bygone era when men settled their
agree.
differences
That's
face
what
to
we're
face,
doing now.
thrusting their chests into one another.
I miss having a guy
And
yelling
while
my
we're talking
mouth.
about stuff, I've never cleaned my ice tray.
Oh, you have to do
Why
that.
do I have to?
You're
It's just
poisoning
water
your
and water.
family.
What's the big deal?
Carrying an ice tray from the freezer to the sink is like ringing the damn dinner bell for arm hairs.
Come to think of it, I do remember seeing a few short hairs in my ice cubes that I'm hoping were from my arm.
The internet pretty much only lets us fire white male,
We're
so
playing that again, I guess. But anyways, though, that's just kind of a little bit of like comic relief, though, to start the show. Obviously,
You think that's funny?
yeah, because it's baseball, and baseball hopefully does happen.
So you think that kind of stuff is funny?
That's exactly the reason why I talk to this man this way. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous. His sense of comedy is atrocious. It is absolutely atrocious.
Don't you like Kevin Hart?
Not really.
Oh, well, I
You
do.
racist pig.
I love Eddie Murphy.
Oh, so now you have a black comedian, so you're okay.
Oh, we're going this route.
Cool.
Man, it's getting racy in here.
I don't know why.
But anyways,
Well, if it was getting ready, off subject. Because I think you got that definition mixed up.
keep your clothes on. Anyways, though, with the next video, though, this goes into the tip-off, actually. It's something that I'm assuming we're not going to see this year, unfortunately. And it's probably one of the best managers to do this. So here's the video of Lou Piniella being Lou Piniella.
He does again, kicks away. Pagan toward third, the throw. Got him. The ball hit the dirt, but on the bounce, Escobar able to get it. He applies the tag. Pagan
Coming up.
and Mike Quaddy arguing, and here's Lou.
This could be
Yep, there it is, number one, the first ejection as a Cubs manager for Lou Piniella, and he is really letting Mark Wegner have it. Just kicked dirt on him.
This is staged.
Now they're talking about where they're going for dinner.
That is not 6 feet apart.
I don't think anybody's surprised that he picked the day to do it. Bruce Fleming getting in the way, just kicked ahead.
Why were they arguing on a baseball field?
Because their son couldn't pass third grade one time.
Which son?
I'm the only son. I did. That was, but they didn't though.
I got nervous.
Anyways,
you want to
though-
know why I believe you didn't pass third grade? You asked me what KM voice stood for, bro. Come
we
on,
gonna go
hey,
for 360?
Remember when he said, yeah, that was
Yeah,
a
you're gonna do a
360?
360. Don't make fun of me for that.
I'm not.
I'm gonna do a full 180.
Because two 180s is a full circle,
Yep.
or two circles, 360. I'm always the one getting made
Oh,
fun of.
now we
so-
got Illuminati coming up in here. Sweet.
Those are supposed to be
Let me
circles.
tuck this away real quick.
Oh, God.
In case if you guys didn't know, Keith's a Mason. Oh, somebody said it and it was me. Anyways, though, the tip-off. So here's the thing, though, and it's a sad idea, I guess, because at the end of the day, what is going on? I mean, obviously now in Cuyahoga County, you have mask mandates in Cuyahoga County, which is for anybody that doesn't live in Ohio, it's in Ohio. So you have the whole entire mask mandate, which is now possibly putting baseball in doubt. But if there is baseball, that's something that we're probably not going to see that often. We're not going to see managers arguing calls or even making that attempt because you have to do it from 6 feet then.
First of all, right now you need to get your facts straight. This has been dwindling down for years since the MLB decided to install replays, and it became a rule that if you argue balls and strikes, you argue any replayed call, you're automatically tossed. There's no point in even arguing anymore. You're automatically tossed. I mean, it's and you even get like a fine and everything. Managers have been slowing down on this for the past several years. It's not just it already went away pretty much.
Well, anyways, though, like the thing is, though, is that like with some scumbag.
Oh, no, wait a minute. He said the podcast sucks, right? Because we don't have... The only reason he can social distance is because when they put him in the van for the sheriff's department, those chains are 6 feet apart. So he's used to being social distance at this point in time. But I mean, when you stalk somebody, you pray, you do it from 6 feet apart. So he's already got the COVID thing down. He's been doing this for years. He's prepared.
For anyone out there that wants to know why are we not wearing masks and we're not 6 feet apart, before we come in and do this podcast...
It's a different county for one.
That too, and also we are very, very precautious. We take care of ourselves. There's hand sanitizer. There's also soap. We've also get our temperatures checked here at Hooligans Gym.
We take a lap around the building to make sure we can breathe.
Yeah, I got this week, everybody.
Sorry, we got 2 weeks ago. But anyways, though, with the tip-off, he's not even worth my time.
He's not going to be worth the time, but I want to have fun. Dude, it's not every day you get to meet somebody as from the star of Criminal Minds. This is great. Like, I definitely...
It's actually Law and Order Special Victims Unit, so...
Oh!
Wow, did I go there? Yeah, I did. Oops. Anyways, though, with the tip-off...
where he went there. Go ahead.
What's going on with the tip-off?
With the tip-off,
come on, let's get it going.
Parker, shut up.
Peyton, you are so asinine. Just get it going.
Anyways, with the tip-off, though, the whole entire, like, you ended up bringing up, like, obviously there's replay now. There's still ejections, though.
Should there even be a tip-off after I just made that perfect statement? Like, what more could you even possibly add to that? I know they could possibly add something.
Yeah, that's right.
So you should stop talking and let them keep going with the tip-off, okay?
I'm trying to think of something, too, because, like, with your point, you're absolutely right. They've been talking about that for the last few years, and I like the entertainment aspect of seeing like Terry Francona run up to the manager and just get all hot-headed. And if it's to keep the boys safe, keep the manager safe, keep everybody safe, if they got a social distancing, do it. And if I still get to see a manager yell from across another dugout, then I guess that's fine. But in all good fun, just everyone's got to be safe.
Hold on, because Keith, I'll let you get to the point too. But I remember seeing this video of Brett Gardner last year. It took him forever to get thrown out of the game, but remember when he was beating the bat with the top of the dugout? It took him like another 3 innings to get thrown out. So even if that is the case, it's a rule change, but it's also not an immediate rule change that's going to be... It takes time. You have to add up and piss off the umpire.
Oh, trust me. You know how many coaches? Even my own father was thrown out from behind home plate. He wasn't even on the field. He was thrown out. Guys can be thrown out of a game no matter what.
How you gonna throw your dad under the bus like that?
Oh no! It was one of the most legendary things. And by the way, my father's gonna be doing some sports minutes. He's he's a statistician. He's got some really great formula for all of you. But this is one of the best stories.
Can you do stats on all of us?
Oh, absolutely.
Like best to worst host.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be me and you and Riggs tied, and he's gonna be way at the bottom. So
no. So your dad has some massive stats going. We gotta talk about that for a second.
It's absolutely impressive,
especially for baseball. That's our sport. He's got some massive stats going. Can you imagine if he did that formula for us ranking, dude? Peyton, you would leave.
Yeah,
you wouldn't even be cut anymore.
He'd be cut. KM Voice would cut him instantly.
I would have to. With that formula, there's no way to prove...
numbers don't lie, everybody.
Numbers don't lie.
They spelled disaster when it comes to you.
So check out this story. We didn't even hear what he said. So we're playing in a tournament game. And this kid gets hit in the hand by the ball, right? He gets hit in the hand by the ball, and this umpire already threw out the other coach from the team, our coach from the team. Just a total jerk of an umpire.
That's why your dad got thrown out.
So yeah,
the statistics on if he didn't get thrown out, what would happen?
So he's just jawing from behind home plate. He's jawing and jawing. The umpire turns around, walks right up to my dad, looks at the guy next to my dad, and goes, "One more peep out of you and you're out of here." Umpire turns around, my dad goes, "Well, wrong again." He watched the rest of the game from the parking lot.
Wow. Honestly, that's my goal as a father. When I end up having a kid, I want to get thrown. Like, I don't know about you guys. Again, completely off topic. When it comes, like, when we were kids and there was recess, especially, like, kickball. I remember in, like, elementary school, literally all the time in kickball or whatever we were playing, I would get face-to-face with my friends, and I would hope that they threw me out of the game because I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. And I'm like, you're an idiot. So you're a stupid idiot.
My gosh, he can't play a real sport, so he's got to resort to a story from kickball.
Well, right, the only thing is I support it. If you ever adopt children, then I think it would be cool.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be cool. I mean,
if you and your significant other
your
decide to
adopt, that's cool.
I mean, you did say you were making some pretty wild statements at your softball games.
Hey, man.
He's already a single dad dog.
Look at him. He's starting to sweat.
And it's hot in here.
Not just because there's so much sexy in here and you can't handle it. You don't know which one to go at.
Living la vida loca.
Weren't you going to go with your topic, though?
What was my topic?
With the tip-off, with what your stance was with the whole entire ejection idea.
Oh, yeah. So if you're going to eject somebody, or if you're going to... So, look, you're going to get ejected from the game anyways. Dude, managers, to your point, you made a point. You're not supposed to argue balls and strikes. You're not supposed to do that. Name a manager that doesn't do that. Dude, every manager...
Every player does it, too.
Every player still. That's why you see Ramirez getting kicked out every now and again. It doesn't happen often with him. But if you're gonna bring in... For one, kill replay. Replay is stupid. I don't believe we need replay in baseball.
If there's replay, it should be in rec sports, too, then I think. If it's going to be that
That's
big...
That's going to be hard to do, though. I mean, that you figure out... Yeah.
Listen, the field umpire yesterday, he took out his phone, and I asked him jokingly if that was like the Indian score, and he actually said, yeah, that's the replay. I was just going over the last play.
Really?
No, it wasn't actuality, but it was a joke, but it had me thinking, and I'm like, man, that'd be cool if that actually happened.
You could do that. No, sure, you're right.
Peyton, can you please let Keith finish the topic? You're really giving me a migraine.
So if you're going to...
Last name's Migra, not migraine.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, good. I'm done. We're going to tag team him later, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Not the tag team he wants.
Go on, and then you're gonna have a break though, because these two are gonna get in the ring next. Remember?
Yeah, that's right, because you screwed me on my last win.
Well, you're doing the points this time, so it's gonna be biased, unbiased.
He's got awesome shoes. Point to Riggs.
Yeah, that was horrible. I'm sorry, man. I love you to death, but I got to take away from you.
No, you did. Yeah, you did give me. That's all I can think of. He does have awesome shoes, great ball handling skills.
But players are going to get kicked. It's going to happen. COVID, listen, are you going to be able to get that close to each other? No, but they're going to. I'm telling you right now, they're going to. There are going to be fines in place, sure. But at this point, dude, when you're heated in the moment, it doesn't matter if you're a player or a coach. When a call is bad and you firmly believe it's bad, especially if it's a costly call, then you're really going to be pissed. No one's going to give a damn about no 6 feet rule. You're not going to be arguing from a little circle. You're going to walk up to the ump, you're going to throw him your glasses, you're going to spit on him and tell him to move. That's just what happens. Like, I mean, by yelling, you're going to be spitting, and this whole thing is ridiculous. If baseball happens, if we have a season this year, is really that much going to change? Are they going to have to? Are managers just all of a sudden going to stop being pissed off? Dude, if Lou Piniella was still here, you think he gives a damn about a coronavirus?
You think Tommy Lasorda would give a damn about a coronavirus?
No, he's chucking names.
What about Bobby Cox? Nobody's bringing that up.
Yeah, I was about to until you rudely interrupted me. You're gonna put a video of Lou Piniella when you decide that you want to put a video of him instead of one of the many record-breaking Bobby Cox ejections.
Yeah. Listen, you only picked Bobby Cox because of his last name. Let's be honest.
You were afraid because you're a little nervous right now. You know, you were afraid to put Cox up there.
Look at it, Riggs doesn't know what to do.
I don't.
All right, so what's the next topic before we start going crazy?
Anyways, next topic, get in the ring. Man, I'm sweating to death in this ring. But anyways, the topic, last Monday we ended up bringing it up. It's the stance on MLB fans. Keith, you're doing this all on your own this time. I'm just taking the seat back. You're going to do the points. I'm going to do the timing.
All right,
so it's the stance on MLB fans in the stadium. You guys said last Monday where you guys stand at, so you had a little bit of time to prepare. So...
Like, okay, now this is real fans in the stadium?
Yes,
or just
not piped in sound, real fans. And I want to say that Parker Pierce was against, and therefore, Riggs, you had to be for. So, whoever wants to go first.
Oh, a champion's advantage. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right, and ready? We'll start it. Keith's going to count the points, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1.
Fans should be allowed there as long as they are social distancing, as long as they are safe. We do not need sellout crowds. Piped in reactions, I don't think that they're great. I think they're corny. I think they're cheesy. I think they're lame. I think a real reaction from a fan high-fiving, air-fiving somebody will make better TV than suppose if somebody just jumping and hugging somebody because of social distancing. I also like the fact of they should have the hot dog relish and ketchup run around on the field once again and race each other, but they probably won't have that because of social distancing.
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what the hell the hot dog ketchup has to do with fans, so I didn't give you a point for that, but I also want to see that. I was just being totally biased, so I'm with you.
So Riggs has 3 points, right?
3 points.
All right, and Parker Pierce in 3, 2, 1, go.
No fans. Just do no fans for 2 months. Get this thing past us. Get the coronavirus past us. Second of all, I love having the whole pop-up cardboard cutout. Send the ball if the kid's close to your cardboard cutout. That's awesome. Third of all, I mentioned this like a week ago, maybe like 3 weeks ago. Do live streams from local bars. Put it on the big Jumbotron. The crowds can see their natural reactions, and it'll be a way to, hey, get the Indians some money. We'll sponsor this week's
time.
Oh, he snuck in the fourth one.
He did.
Wow. So
and still,
oh God,
get in the ring, champ.
Man, somebody has to dethrone him eventually. I mean, it's been
no, because now it's tag team.
So it's me and 360 boy over here.
Well, dude, I mean, I do kind of feel like that's a disadvantage for.
It's such a disadvantage.
I mean, look at what we're going up against.
I mean, this is like literally Hillis versus you. Like that's no offense to you, but
thanks,
I mean,
thanks.
This is
thanks.
So I get.
If we're gonna do a tag team, we should have time to train. Time to get our brains worked out for this.
Where do you think you train at, though?
I'll get you a coloring book. You'll be okay.
Yeah, give me a book with angles and shapes and all that, so I can know about my 360 degrees.
But where would you train at?
Degrees. We're gonna train. We're gonna hit our books, our sports books, our facts, our knowledges.
Now you're betting. What are you betting on?
Keith,
in the sports
if you were to train, where would you train at?
At Hooligans Boxing. MMA.
Listen, that was good.
Oh man!
Now I'm starting to feel that sweat.
Honestly, like,
it's hot in here.
I was giving him a softball, and he just kept on whiffing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what? I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna have to tell him off break. Like, you dumb blah 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 blah. Like, what do you think I'm dumb? But I get it now. I'm the dumb blah 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 blah.
Yes, exactly.
Please don't grill into me yet, professional peers.
Please do. So what are the teams gonna be?
I missed it too. I really wasn't listening to you.
Team's gotta be me and Parker. Man. It just has to because he doesn't want to
mutilate
me.
The good guys, the good knowledgeable guys versus you two clowns.
So who's gonna keep score then?
Tyler.
Our producer Tyler can keep score.
Step in here for once and take score. Keep score, take score, whatever.
Whatever works. And I feel like this should also be like a piece of paper though too. Because like the finger thing, like it's just like obviously it's easy and simple, but also to like tally it down too.
And you have to tally 4 points.
Oh my gosh.
You got 30 seconds. You're only going for
Peyton.
You have to tally that?
Peyton, we know you
now
can't keep count.
Why it's
you can't keep count on more than one hand.
If you
can't keep count up to 5, which I know you're never going to get that many correct topics in 30 seconds. That's for sure never going to happen.
Well, I never had a chance to play yet, so I won it.
So you want us to tally 4 points up? That's not even 1, 2, 3 and a dash, bro. Like 4 and a dash. That's just. You can't do that? You don't think Tyler can do that?
He's producing.
Criminy.
I don't know if he's a mathematician.
Yeah, but unlike you, he can still chew gum and walk at the same time. So I don't know.
Riggs, you're my tag team partner.
Okay, yeah. So you're trying to say my friend can't chew gum and walk? You are probably afraid of your own shadow when you walk outside.
Now it's on. Okay, all right. All right, fine.
Go hit your books. I know you probably can't read half the words in there, but go hit them.
Yeah, why are you talking to Keith, man?
Dude, all you got to do
Talking
is
to you,
no,
Peyton.
hold on a minute. All you
You know
gotta
what?
do is
I knew
turn-
words like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. What about
That's
you?
a child's movie. Good job. You had that as a babysitter instead of your parents. So, anyways, basically.
Can we not mention my parents?
Why?
You know why.
Next week, tag team action. We Like Sportz Podcast. Get in the ring. Peyton. Oh, God. Professional Parker Pearson. Keith Miger won.
Wednesday, 7:30 to 9:30. We Like Sportz Podcast. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You ever do that again, I'll give you a real one.
No.
He's on my team.
He's on his team. Let him self-destruct. Let him have a podcast about destructive behavior.
I just really want to.
No. They need to do a podcast about
Destructive behavior? Yeah, I mean, that could be really bad, though, and I feel like that used to happen way before us, though,
It did
honestly.
until it self-destructed.
Yeah, and I mean, that tends to happen every
does.
now and then.
It does.
But anyways, though, I would want to end up hopping into the Indians, but
I take a break.
I know, we have to take
It's
a break.
hot in here. I need to leave. I'm just... It's insane.
Stop radiating your sexiness, all right, man?
Did we even
There's
talk
another
about
one.
sports today?
Let's just... Hey, Peyton, you know what? We can keep a tally of more than 5?
What?
Every little homosexual thing you do on the show.
Wow!
You've been killing it. You've been killing it all day.
We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
If you're
bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make sure your balls are smooth while you or your partner are playing with them. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0. So a little side note, have you ever cut your balls while shaving them? I have, and that is painful. I would not ever do that again, and I would never shave my balls if it wasn't for Manscaped, because once I started using Manscaped, I no longer had to worry about the bleeding anymore. Also, for any new subscribers, you end up getting replacement blades refilled for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. And for a limited time, subscribers get not only 1, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value, and the high-patented, high-performance, anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SPORTS with a Z at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped, and use the code SPORTS. Make playing with your balls the best part of your day. Thanks, Manscaped.
Oh my gosh. Welcome back to the We Like Sportz Podcast with Parker Pierce, myself. We got Keith, we got Riggs, we got Clown. We're just ready to go. And the reason I'm doing the talking right now is because I'm the most professional one out of this group, and I'm going to talk about another professional company that is really making moves out there. We are sponsored by Unforgettables. It's a little company that makes baseballs. Each is designed by the artist from a hand painting, then printed onto real baseballs. Designs include baseball stadiums past and present, baseball history pieces, tons of designs. It's worth taking a look. That's unforgettables.com. Use promo code SPORTS with a Z and get 10% off. And Peyton, there's no way you could have done that. You probably would have tripped over your words about 30 times. I mean, that's how a professional ad is done.
You didn't see that, did you? On the way down, I tripped down the stairs.
You probably hit your head.
I did.
You know what? You need to go into concussion protocol. Go sit in the tent.
Who's Andre Lewis?
I don't know. I'm going in the corner.
Oh. Here's where the show really gets interesting, when Peyton is over there. So what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about some Indians now. And if you guys haven't heard, Franmil Reyes, outfielder, DH, whatever you want to call him, he decided to be at a 4th of July party without wearing a mask.
And because Andre Lewis and Dave the Raper guy did it or whatever. They started phoning him in.
So Franmil Reyes got caught without a mask on, and he had to go into kind of like he wasn't allowed to come to.
So the story is tripping words guy. All right, here it is. So the
you're
story
still
is
in the tent, concussion protocol.
So the story is you know what? It's my show. Why am I in the corner? Anyways, the whole entire situation is that Terry Francona literally did his reporting and like checked on Franmil Reyes' social media, and pretty much like minutes after TMZ found it, he found it. Like he was almost as close as TMZ was. So the thing is he was banned from camp yesterday. Today was his first day back, and he actually hit a home run to the fans out in left field, actually. No fans, but that was a joke. Terrible humor. But he was actually back today, ended up hitting a home run to left field. But the thing is, though, is that he had to get tested, obviously, came back negative. But again, that's how strict it is right now. Sure. They're having the point being that you have no mask, you're not playing right now because you don't want to get anybody else sick right now.
Right.
And that's just the way it is right now for being a professional athlete.
How many times are you going to say right now?
Right now? Or later?
Now, this is what I have about social distancing when it comes to professional baseball. Okay, you're at bat, you get a single, you're at first base.
I am single.
You're a single, you're at first base.
No surprise there.
Now I'm the first baseman, right? So now obviously you're on my bag. He's our first base coach. He's your first base coach. How does that work out? Do they have to be 6 feet from the bag?
Well, it depends. Are we going with softball rules? Because I'm pretty sure you and I are on the same page for once in our life that with first base coach, third base coach, there's not necessarily social distancing, and there's also in softball, there's not necessarily any social distancing, but you're also...
Oh, you play on one of those teams that don't know how to base run, so you got to have base coaches in softball, don't you?
You know what, man?
So I'm back to this whole mask thing, like... I get it. Like,
God, we're going to get on a DeWine rant here.
No, because Mike DeWine is an idiot, and obviously he's got little lackeys like Andre, what is it, Andre?
And Mr. Dave.
Andre Lewis? What is he like? What a horrible name. Your mom should be ashamed of herself. So... You have people like that who are complaining like, oh, this is what they said. I wish 1%, even if it was just 1%, no one should take the chance, not to mention the virus has long-term attacks. Then the uneducated moron went on to say, I wish that everyone who didn't wear a mask could live on an island. That way they didn't have to wear a mask and they can all die together. Which is
he's
cute.
So polite.
Which is cute. That's called that. You know, here's the problem with that, Andre. You subtle little jackass. You little idiot. I don't want anybody to get coronavirus, but it does.
But I know somebody that did in Illyria prison.
Well, I know, yeah, right? So this Dave guy goes on this whole molesting spree and starts doing some crazy crap and hates the show and tries to get Mike DeWine to come on here. Mike DeWine, you want to know why Mike DeWine won't come on this show or get called? Mike DeWine won't come here because he knows the second he comes here, I'm going to ask him if he knows what the Constitution is. Once he says yes, I'm going to destroy him in the fact that he's been keeping Ohio on a lockdown and screwing our economy. And the same thing, Andre Lewis, I'm assuming that the only food and food stamps he gets is from that same government that tries to screw him because now he has to be a lackey. And he's probably trying to figure out how he can get to a baseball game. I'm talking about Dave now, not the idiot from Redline that doesn't know how to produce shit.
Oh, wow.
The actual guy.
This is something
but this other Dave guy who literally has taken the time to sit there and stalk women like it's his job, okay? There's only like 3 things that he could actually accomplish in his life with his stalking expertise. That's being a paparazzi. And since he likes to rape people, that's out because paparazzi doesn't touch things. Because he likes to argue with people, I guess that's a possible career field, but he doesn't know how to do it the right way. So you can destroy and say you're going to call DeWine on all of this, but here's the problem, Andre, you jackass, and Dave, you rapist. You have to understand that we're all at safe distances, we're all having fun, and we're all giving you a sports show so we can talk sports, or we could talk about how you decided to destroy a little girl's life because you thought being a stalker was the cool thing to do and you don't know how to socially distance yourself from, I don't know, jail, other rapists, and things that go bad. So, back to sports.
Wait, hold on. I think there's a bell. See?
And feel free to comment in there because Andre... However,
back to sports. Keith,
I want him to comment because I'm assuming he's using some free Wi-Fi. Considering the last time he actually had a meal that was paid for outside of government assistance, it was probably some kind of peanut butter and jelly that wasn't very good.
Probably fluffernutter, honestly.
The only fluffernutter thing he fluffers is
what's
the
next
Indian topic? Boys.
But anyways, though, the whole entire idea that we were trying to get to is like, Riggs, you okay? You're my tag team partner for life, so I need to make sure that you're okay. Anyways, you could probably mark that
Are you
down.
two gonna adopt?
No, yeah. When you just said that, I'm like, oh, that did not. Please don't catch that.
But anyways, if our producer Tyler could end up actually previewing, because this goes back kind of Franmil Reyes and no fans being in the ballpark, if he could end up pulling up the video of Progressive Field and what this next season is going to end up looking like, actually. So while he ends up pulling that up, though, guys, remember, there's no fans. It's all piped in sound.
Yeah.
So
they need to do.
They have John Adams in there by sound, but not in person. But I mean, it's going to be a difficult time and difficult to watch. So
it is.
As Tyler ends up pulling up the video, be prepared. This is the future now of the 2020 MLB season. I'm sweating to death.
Oh, what do you mean? It just looks like a game in April.
Oh. I feel like I'm watching some guy named Bruce's show and they're showing the background before they go to commercial.
I'm talking about Bruce Drennan.
I don't know if I can say his name.
Yeah, you can say whatever.
He's saying everybody's name.
You can say whatever you want on this show. You can anything you want.
And by the way,
actually,
Peyton, by the way, that's not what baseball is going to look like. Okay, that baseball's not going to look like that. We're going to see it through a TV screen. We're not going to have that view of everything. We're going to actually see the players. We're not going to have this really far away angle. That's not what it's going to look like to us. We're going to see it like we normally do when we watch it on TV. And it's going to look like a game that the Indians are playing in April against the Tigers on a rainy night, and there's 30,000, or there were supposed to be 30,000 people there, and only like 1,200 show up.
Yeah.
Man. But the thing is maybe I misspoke, Parker Pierce, and that's
like
the way it's
usual?
going to sound, and it's going to be audio-wise, and obviously in the comments, too, people were stating that this sounds better than when they actually have people in the stands.
Sure.
Because, I mean, they usually just don't end up having fan support, or else they're there and they're sitting on their hands. It's just the way it is when you have Indians fans, unfortunately. It's very disappointing. Also, the Indians name, that could be changing, so stay tuned. That is coming up shortly. But first, I want to get to the possibility that somebody ended up stating that Jose Ramirez, they have a feeling that he can be a lifetime Indian just due to the fact that he's signed till 2024, and also he's not necessarily a Lindor type player, but he's more so inclined that he has his peaks and valleys as a player.
Sure.
And since he signed till 2024, he could end up signing that extension.
If Jose Ramirez is going to be a lifetime Indian, he better keep having those peaks and divots. Because I swear to God, if he plays at his peak at all times, we ain't going to be able to afford him anyway.
Right, he needs to bat more than his body weight.
Well, you do realize he weighs like 160.
Does he?
Who weighs 160?
Jose, are you kidding me?
No, he doesn't.
Really?
You are high.
He does not weigh 160.
Listen,
What
if anybody's high, it's Riggs.
What weighs what? 160?
There ain't no way. I don't know a grown man that weighs 160 unless you're 5'5", and that's no disrespect to anyone
Jose
out
Ramirez
there.
does not weigh 160, dude.
165 pounds.
Okay, he's 5'9". He's 5'9".
I'm telling you that's wrong. I don't care, but dude, when they ask me at the doctor how much I weigh, I tell them 185. I'm not 185.
We're not going to go
Like,
by
that's
baseball
not-
reference that says 190.
Now I see
Baseball.
what. Never mind. I was gonna say something really, really mean, but I didn't want to.
Feel adopted.
I didn't want to. No, because I don't know who's watching, and I don't want to piss anybody off that bad.
Oh, not like you did that earlier.
I've already pissed off. Well, I don't care about them. Yeah, welfare
anyways-
recipient Andre the fake 3000 and Dave the raping's great freaking stalker. I didn't give a shit about them.
All right.
Goodness
What were you going to
gracious.
say? Why am I asking you what you were going to say?
Jose Ramirez, to get you back
He's
on
not
topic.
185
It's
or 165.
190.
I believe he's like a solid 200.
Do you guys think I'm gonna shove this back in there so I could at least get this back on track. Do you think there is a chance that for the first time in a while, because usually with the Indians organization they end up trading their players away, do you think that you may end up seeing Jose Ramirez in an Indians uniform for his life? This is the first time in a long time that you're going to see this if it does happen.
I don't want to sound optimistic or sound like, such a fairy tale fan, because I know at the end of the day, this is a business. I thought LeBron James was always going to wear a Cavaliers jersey. I thought Kenny Lofton or all those other guys were always going to stay there. I hope that he's a Cleveland Indian for the rest of his career. I like his smug look every time he goes for the bat. I think he's a tough son of a gun with that surgery that he had and got the stitches across his hand, and he would still want to go out there and play on the field with those boys. I hope he's a lifelong Cleveland Indians member. So one day we can possibly name a street after him right behind Larry Doby, or we can give Jose Ramirez a statue right next to Jim Thome.
Hopefully. You know what's an interesting question about Jose Ramirez though, and a bunch of other players in the MLB, is how many batters go up there and they just have this fatty of chaw in their cheek.
That's all seeds,
and
man.
Oh yeah, keep it PG. It's chaw. It's Red Man. It's the good stuff. Like, you ever see Sandlot?
Yeah.
The good stuff. That's what you'd be doing if you ever put a chaw and you'd be throwing up on people's feet.
I did a Charles one time and I threw up. That in chocolate milk.
So anyway, how are these players gonna? They're going out of their routine. They're not gonna have the chaw in every single game like they do.
Because
like,
they can't spit.
Exactly. You're not allowed to spit. No seeds. No nothing.
So I wonder how Francona's gonna manage.
Oh yeah, it's bubblegum. Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
No one's gonna give a damn. I'm telling you, no one's gonna care because nobody cares now.
So Keith, what are your thoughts about Jose Ramirez being a lifelong Indian? Take a deep breath, focus, woosah, as they say.
I would like to see.
I'll rub your back, start talking.
Thank you. I would like to see him as a lifelong Indian. I think he's great. I think he's good. If realistically speaking, outside of being a homer, no, it's not going to happen because he is a good player. And what's going to happen is the Dolans are going to screw everything up like the Dolans always do. I've got no love for the Dolans. We know that. But we already have him through 2024.
And
so
here's another thing about the reason why there are no lifelong Indians. Because you just made the point, the Dolans can't afford it. They can't afford to keep a guy like Lindor.
They just don't want to.
Right, but they choose not to.
Right.
And then you got a guy like Kipnis, who I consider him almost like a lifelong Indian.
He should have been a lifelong
Indian.
Indian.
But that's the thing, they can't afford that $13-14 million contract that he has, even though he's in decline. But that's what I'm saying. They won't keep the guys that are fan favorites because they have to start over all the time to produce and bring up new talent.
I mean, let's be honest. Kipnis wasn't a fan favorite towards the end. People were getting pissed off at him.
Well, you're getting pissed because he was injury prone too.
Right. But the thing is what should have happened is, I believe this fully, Kipnis knew he should have retired. He didn't. He should have retired when they said, hey, we're thinking about sending you somewhere. He should have retired. Guarantee the day he retires, he walks out of that door, not a baseball player anymore, turns around, walks back in as a coach or somebody in the front office. He would have been part of the Indians, and he will be. Mark my words, Kipnis will come back to Cleveland, and Kipnis will be part of the Cleveland organization at some point in time upon retirement. So once it happens, Kipnis, I consider him a lifer. Thome, I don't consider a lifer. He went and took a bigger deal. There's people that you consider lifer.
No, do you consider Carlos Santana a lifer?
No.
You don't?
Because he went.
Not yet.
But he was traded.
But he was traded. He didn't do that on his own.
Yeah, and he was very happy to come back, but he's going to be traded again. I guarantee it.
Or else he's going to have to take a pay cut.
Or he's going to have to take a pay cut, and he's not going to want to do that. But Santana's worth a little bit of money.
Didn't Bob Wickman end up coming back as a coach though?
Well, Orel Hershiser, Charles Nagy. These people come back. Sandy Alomar is the perfect example. He's first base coach, and he's the shoo-in to be the next manager when Francona retires.
If he decides to.
Oh, he will.
Decides to. But you do, again, we've talked about why players are not lifers on teams anymore, because the money is too big. There's no incentive to be a homer. There's no incentive to try to break through the mold. What happens is you have owners like the Dolans who are out there. They're not spending the money to build a team around the team they have. So you're not constantly getting better. You're constantly trying to piece it back together.
Well, what's the
There's
saying?
a difference.
Money talks.
Money
right?
does talk, right? But
and then something walks, but we're trying to be PG.
Right.
And like
BS
you said, we're
walks,
like three times.
Money talks, and BS walks. So when all of this happens, you have a thing. You have a deal, right? You have a deal. They want to play. They have a deal set into place, but the money's greater. The money's better. So they're gonna chase the money. You know that.
Well, guys, I think that's enough to wrap up about the whole entire Jose Ramirez topic, because we're just going to get sad. But one thing that we did say we were going to hit on, and this is probably going to take us to the next break, but as you guys know, this is going to be a later topic in the NFL section, but FedEx, the one that sponsors the Washington Redskins field, decided that they want them to change their name.
Yeah.
Now because of that, you have people like Surprisingly, not the Chicago Blackhawks for hockey, but you have the Atlanta Braves that have to change their name now. You have the Indians that have to change their name.
Can you imagine this being... dude, this makes me sick. As a person, this is just downright racist. Like the Indians, the Cleveland Indians, the most racist thing I've ever heard in my life.
I'm sensing your sarcasm.
It's stupid, no one cares! Keep the damn names!
You're exactly right. You are exactly right. And I just want to say this for one. Let's say tomorrow that the Cleveland Indians change their name. I promise you, the Washington Redskins better be right behind us 30 seconds with a name.
They should be first.
Or first.
They should be first.
How about you just don't change the names? How about you just keep it?
It's the world we're living in, Keith.
There is no, it's the world we're living in because we allow it.
Because we allow the people.
No, it's because we allow the people like the Andre Fake 3000s and the Dave Raper guys and the Brian O'Hares who can't find their ass with both hands run the freaking country.
I was talking I was talking to a manager at work, and he told me, he goes, I don't want the Indians to change your name. He goes, what you guys need to do, your generation, my generation, start writing the team, start writing, the front office, email them, social media. And I told him, well, me and my buddies, we have a platform, the We Like Sportz Podcast, Mondays and Wednesdays on Facebook Live. I'll give out those times later. So, our platform like this, where people like, subscribe, and, share, give your opinions. Do you guys think that we should change our name? I mean, some of us, we've grown up with Chief Wahoo, just in our lives. And now that Chief Wahoo's taken from us, yes, the Block C, it's incredible, it's attractive.
But you look like the Reds or the Cubs.
Exactly. And to the day I die, when I think of the Cleveland Indians, I'm thinking about Chief Wahoo. Regardless. I'm going to think about Chief Wahoo just like I feel everybody out there is going to think about Chief Wahoo. I think you need one of those.
Yeah, he needs his calm, balance.
I need one of these. I need balance.
But
it gives me so much off balance in my life.
I'm not trying to, go off the hinges or anything, but I think that this world that we live in is very sensitive. It's very PC. And I don't think the Indians...
I can't even open it!
I don't think the Cleveland Indians need to... Oh, Mom, I'm sorry. I'm going to use my teeth. But...
did you think that? I'm about to put that in my drink. That kid's going to have a fucking aneurysm.
Oh, God. Oh, you really want this?
Yes!
Anyways, with the name change, though,
some of us grew up with that name for the rest of our lives, and that's all that we know, Reed.
Oh, my God.
And that's all we know.
Dying in here.
It sucks that Wahoo was taken from us. It really does. But keep the name. Seriously, I want at least 10 to 15 Native. My Facebook name is Leconte, LeContedeshawn. I don't have any forms of social media, and that will come soon.
You have Facebook, though.
I don't have any other forms like your Instagram or whatnot. I want at least 20 Native Americans, or if anyone knows 20 Native Americans, have them slide in my DMs. I'll even give out my phone number, and I want to see, is the name Cleveland Indians that offensive to a real Native American, not somebody that claims that they're half or that their grandmother knew someone that was a Blackfoot Indian. I want somebody who was 100% Native American on some John Redcorn from King of the Hill. 100%. I want to know if that offends you. I'm dead serious. And if we can even find a Native American sports guest, someone who likes sports, let us know. Let us know. That's all.
I used to work with a Native American.
Bring him on the show.
I can. Let's just say he's got some dicey details for me because. See, this guy, he's
Does he know Nick Swisher?
He is. He's pretty.
He's an idiot too.
He's Native American, but his grandfather is the one who is in charge of all those protests in front of the stadium on opening day. And his grandfather, who was in charge, actually got in trouble for taking money from the donations, and giving it to himself. He had to pay a hefty fine.
Weird that works out.
But his own grandson says it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but there's no reason to change the name.
Now, I can get the logo might be offensive to some people with the bright red face and the big nose and the red
Chief Wahoo's gone. It's a C now, literally.
Right.
There's nothing there whatsoever. It's either a script I or a block C. There's no Chief Wahoo. They don't even make merchandise with that anymore.
Okay, so to segue in, since we obviously know, we all disagree. We don't want the name change, but it's gonna happen. And if it does happen, what name do you want?
The Cleveland Hillbillies. The Cleveland Honkies.
I honestly thought you were going to say the Cleveland Hills.
I want, sure, whatever. The Cleveland Crackers. I don't care. It's stupid. It should just stay the Indians.
Listen, drink more of that.
There's not enough Well, actually, the light will calm you down quite a bit. Once you put it in there, it really will bring down the nerves.
But what about the Cleveland Spiders? Would you like that?
No! I want the Indians!
No, what about the Cleveland Buzzards?
No, I want the
like
Indians!
the Cleveland Buzzards.
I do too.
I like the Cleveland Buzzards.
The Buzzards are the only team that I would actually be okay with because the Buzzard, random nonsense fact, 100.7 that used to be called the Buzzard, that was literally
It's
a Cleveland.
still called the Buzzard.
Nobody pays attention to that.
Yes,
That was just WMMS. They don't.
The Buzzard. You don't hear that? You probably
He listens to 105.7.
No,
Is that magic?
No, you listen to 95.5 The Fish. That's what you listen to.
Unless I don't smell like it.
That was awesome.
Oh man.
Damn.
But anyways, though, if they do decide,
he's gonna have to get a little clip on the Parker Pierce insults. That was actually pretty decent.
Wow.
I mean, it's the first logical, not really logical,
Your
but it's
respectometer went up a little bit.
you know what? It came a little bit above sea level.
Wow, above sea level.
speaking of the Indians logo, the Block C.
That's not a logo. That's a letter.
But anyways, though, with the whole entire idea, though, if you, Keith, calmly, please, calm, balance, and delight, CBD, Delight Cafe. If you were to change the name, would you be accepting of the Cleveland Buzzards?
No! It needs to be the Indians!
Someone wants to know, why are you having a stroke?
Who said that?
A We Like Sportz podcast sharer. I'd like to know that.
I don't know.
No, what about you? What's your
The Buzzards I'd be okay with. That's it, though.
It sounds better than the Guardians.
The amount of names that they come up with.
No. You want to know what's that? You want to know what? The Indians! That's it. Can we move on?
No. We want you to have
need a break.
We want
We
you
need a
to
break.
actually, like...
Stroke? No, don't.
Dude, what is so offensive about a team name called the Indians?
Now, okay, what if we were called the Tribe? Would you like that?
We are the Tribe!
That's our
it's
nickname.
Tribe freaking time!
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. Before we end up going to break, I want you to realize, though, that the current hashtag for the Indians this season, which may end up changing now, it's hashtag our tribe. Is that offensive?
Everything is offensive! Everything. Do you understand? Everything is offensive. Literally, you spell sports with a Z. For anybody,
some other place put that with an S, but that's why we're not there anymore.
That's because he's a fat idiot. Do you understand that the Indians are not offensive? None of this is offensive. Nothing.
You need like
Nothing
10 of those.
is offensive about the Kansas City Chiefs. Nothing is offensive about the Cleveland Indians. Nothing is offensive about the Atlanta Braves. Nothing.
Just the chop, but that's the only thing that's offensive.
Why is that offensive?
He was joking.
Oh.
Nothing about that is offensive. Nothing. Zero. My last name is Migra. Literally, when people say that, Mexicans run like hell. So now I have to change my name because that's offensive?
I don't get it.
La Migra, moron.
What's that?
Immigration, jackass. Like, are you telling me that now, because that's a possibility, I have to change my last name? It's not going to happen. Everything is offensive.
It is. We live in a very PC...
We don't. We do it because we're stupid.
We live in a very PC, very soft
Peyton,
world.
get control.
Wait, hold on. So
you're worse at getting control of this than Potato is in the ring.
Oh my God, he's not going to be in the ring anytime soon, though. But anyways, I guess this kind of goes into before the show when you said you're on air to your good friend Peyton Hillis, and he thought you were having a stroke.
Okay, now.
Halfway through the show, and it looks like you are having a stroke.
Because it's hot, we're sweaty, it's getting nasty in here.
Yeah, but we only have an hour left. But anyways, though, let us know when we could watch Moving the Change with Peyton Hillis and Keith Migra, though.
On Thursdays now.
Okay.
6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
To 8:30?
To 8:30.
And that's also on, like, Apple Podcasts, too, right?
It is, only because of you, actually.
Yeah, see? I can do something cool.
You can.
Parker.
That's not cool. That's behind the scenes stuff.
What do you do behind the scenes?
I'm the star. I don't need to do that.
Shut up. Anyways,
he's the star too. That's why he doesn't do anything too.
Wow, you got me. Anyways, we'll be back after this on the We Like Sportz Podcast. Don't go anywhere.
Maybe because Mike DeWine's going to shut us down.
Man.
Welcome back to Moving the Chains with Keith Migra and Peyton Riggs and Parker Pierce.
That is copyright, for one. And for two, he's going to be upset about that.
But I love him.
He does not love you.
But we have the same name.
No, you don't. And he made sure you knew that. How is yours spelled?
With an A.
What does that mean?
Way.
Okay. Oh, we can't say that because it's offensive. Sorry, you're right.
Check mark. There's another tally.
Anyways, before we end up getting into the next topic, while our producer pulls up the image of what Trevor Bauer did the latest with the Houston Astros, make sure to check out the replay of this podcast Thursday morning, 9 a.m. on Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and Anchor, as well as YouTube at 9 a.m. as well at the We Like Sportz Podcast. Check that out. You could also see Assholes Insults. Oh, I didn't mean to say that.
That's offensive, dude.
That rolled off the tongue.
It did. That's offensive. I can't do this.
I'm going to put you through a wall one day.
That's also offensive. That's offensive to all home builders that have to do that as a living.
Speaking of which, do you think the city of Trash Town, H-Town, is going to be offended by a Trevor Bauer shirt?
Honestly, I hope so, because Trevor Bauer isn't lying. Houston cheated. That's also what it says on the shirt. And Riggs, why don't you explain how you ended up finding this image? Because I could take a guess here, but you're taking the lead here.
So I was sitting at home and I was partaking in some California hospitality. That's what we call that.
That's offensive.
It was around.
Why did that to be California?
Because it was around 4:20 p.m. around that time.
I thought it was a.m.
Whatever. So I was on my phone on Google and I decided, scroll through the sports stories and I seen this picture of Trevor Bauer. I looked at the shirt. I thought it was hilarious. And the one person I knew that would like it would be, the founder of the show here, Peyton. And what I'm going to take away from this is I think it's very hilarious. I think it's funny. It also shows you Trevor Bauer's passion for the game. It also shows you how serious he is. It also shows you that, hey, maybe if they didn't cheat that year when he was on our team, we could have, went and won the World Series that year. And
if you wouldn't have played with a drone.
But I also
that was the year before. That was
this
16.
Was 2017. So I'll give him. I feel like he also has animosity towards the Houston Astros.
I'm sure.
And it's still related to us in Cleveland because he was on the Indians at the time.
Oh, right.
And he called them out for their BS too. He literally said there's something up here. Nothing ever happened of it until 3 years later.
If I was a sports fan, because I don't want to sound biased or people say, well, you don't live there, you wouldn't do that.
I do want to get an Astros fan still to just see what their point is.
The good person in me, if I lived in Houston and I know my team cheated, guess what? My World Series T-shirt that I bought, my replica ring, the jerseys, I'm getting rid of every single one of it. That's like
Hulk Hogan the shirt.
Yeah, that's like if we figure out if one of our three sports teams were to cheat it, I'll be very, very pissed off. That's like right now if we were to find out that the Cavaliers cheated to come back against 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors. Which
they did. They had LeBron.
As you were
cheat code. Go on,
as you were professional.
So
you're on my team. We're a tag team.
Shut up! I'm talking. So anyway, first of all, Trevor Bauer. I already said before on this show, I think he is a trash professional.
Yeah,
yes, he did call him out. That's great. That's great that you called him out. You did that. But right now, all you're trying to do is make your entire career be more memorable by being known for being the guy that called him out instead of going out there and pitching and having a great season. You threw your career away in Cleveland because you decided to be a jackass and launched the ball off the wall because you're a crybaby. You couldn't get the Kansas City Royals. I mean, the Kansas City Royals got your name that game and just absolutely destroyed you. And you threw a little hissy fit and threw the ball 400 feet over the center field wall. Good job. You're making your career more known about calling out the Houston Astros instead of being a Hall of Fame pitcher.
Boom! Trevor Bauer's garbage.
Trevor Bauer's garbage now, and he's trying to just make his career about letting the whole world know, oh, my ego's here. Look at my ego. I'm the one that called him out. Everybody know it's me. It's me.
Here's the thing, though. You guys are, I'm still, no matter what, obviously he left on a bad note with the Indians, but he was still a hell of a pitcher for the Indians.
I like his attitude. I like his passion.
And now he's not our problem. He's in Cincinnati now. He's not my problem.
His attitude is what was the problem.
Yes.
Dude, there's a difference between having passion and being a whiny, spoiled little punk who thinks he can literally show and tell people what to do. That's what he did. He was on there, and dude, he does the same thing. He goes and argues with everybody. Well, look at my war. Look at this. Look at this. Shut up, dude. You think you're the best pitcher ever? You haven't won a World Series. You got traded for sucking. You got traded for being a little bitch. You got traded for being all that. He's a punk. Punk.
Facts. Next topic.
Yeah, it's hard to argue for Trevor Bauer there.
It is.
He's not Cleveland's problem anymore, but
No,
I do appreciate his time, though.
Right.
Moving on to the next baseball news, though. Dave Dombrowski, who's the former general manager of the Boston Red Sox, he moved to Nashville, and this is very interesting because now he's trying to either move a baseball team, a Major League Baseball team, to Nashville or recruit one and make their own team. So then we'd have, 31 teams?
You'd have to make it even, I think. But
then you have a team out in Vegas then.
That would be interesting too. But I think if he does get a team in Nashville, I want him to bring a different team, and it has to either be the Tampa Bay Rays or the Miami Marlins. They do not deserve franchises down there. They do not care about baseball down there.
No, when we lost the '97 World Series, their fans, the Marlins fans, didn't even care because they were a brand new expansion franchise. Like, oh, we just won a championship game against a team that hasn't won since 40-8. So I agree with you on that 1,000%. But I also agree that there are some cities and some states that, you just need a minor league or your AA team or, your D League teams there. But at the same time, I would like a professional team to be in your Nashville. Maybe a Montana team could be nice, or Idaho. But,
don't
Boise,
talk about yourself like that.
Boise.
You're pushing it.
I'm sorry. Boise? You think
Yeah.
they play on a blue field like the Boise State?
That'd be amazing. That would absolutely be amazing. Move a team to Boise, play on a blue field, do something.
Let me ask this question then. Obviously, we're kind of brainstorming here and thinking of a possibility of where we might end up seeing an expansion team at, which this would be the first expansion team since Washington?
Yes.
The Washington Nationals, because they went Montreal to Washington.
Yeah, it would be.
So, what would be the next area? I mean, obviously, Vegas has been popular. Obviously, Nashville was just brought up. But if you could either make your own team or move a team, where would that location be at and why?
That's a tough question. That's kind of legit.
That is a pretty good question.
That is a damn good question.
I finally did my goddamn job.
Right? So, now you lost the sponsors. So,
I'll tell you where I'd like to see a team.
Where?
We got a team in Canada. Why not go to Mexico City or go to Puerto Rico or something? Do you see when
I can see Puerto Rico or
Hawaii. I mean, I think
But then with the travel
Mexico City has the bigger population to be able to handle that. Puerto Rico's a tiny little island and they don't have money. Neither does Mexico really. But Mexico has a huge enough population.
Why don't you just put it in Puerto Rico? They had the Indians and Twins there, so I mean that's still a part of the United States and United States Commonwealth, and you had when the Indians were there. I mean, look at that home run Lindor hit. You literally had a huge celebration.
So electric.
I would take a sport I'm going to take a page from the Professionals book. I would take one of those Floridian teams, and I'll put a team in maybe your Tennessee, your Memphis would be nice. North Carolina, South Carolina, just something new.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hawaii still. How awesome would it be to go there? For the players, dude. Hawaii, it's.
I feel like you'd end up getting a lot of Samoans.
It'd be a huge disadvantage because that flight to Hawaii is long.
And not just that. You're gonna have to have a lot of double headers. Well, we're already here. We might as well play this double header.
Yeah. Also, that time difference. So with jet lag, that's 5-hour difference, 6-hour difference.
And then I think that would be like the new Disneyland. Like, oh, I want to play in Chicago. I want to play in New York. No, I want to play in Hawaii.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that would be something similar to playing in Florida, or California, the warm weather areas. Chicago's not warm.
I don't like warm weather.
Yeah, but
sports teams.
That's another thing about Hawaii. Hawaii's all tourism, and you'd get a lot of tourists, but you wouldn't get many real fans. They'd be just like Florida. They really don't care. They're living on an island. They're going surfing every day. They ain't gonna care. Just like the Florida teams
the wows and whatnot.
Yeah, good point.
Anyways, moving on to the next topic in the NBA, though. As we end up talking about the NBA, again, more news, and all it is just all speculation anymore. Now, the latest news is if Damian Lillard were to request a trade, he has stated, or not he has stated, but the New York Post has stated that the Lakers would be his top choice to join LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
You ready?
Go for it. I'm not talking
I hate
anymore.
this. I don't like the fact that these big market cities, these attractive cities like your New York, your Arizona, your Florida, your California, you guys have everything. You have good-looking weather, good-looking women, good-looking trees in both aspects. And now you guys get all these celebrities that come to your crappy state all because of its sunshine and rainbows. Okay, so when LeBron James was here and we had Kyrie Irving and we had Kevin Love, I didn't consider that a super team. I consider that just a group of average Joes who wanted to play together and that was good enough to win a championship. And let's say like LeBron James was still in Cleveland. Do you think Damian Lillard will come here? Do you think Anthony Davis will come here? No, because I hate when people dog my damn city because Cleveland is not attractive. Oh, you never been to California. You never been to Florida, so you don't get it. I know that I get that. I love my damn city. I love my damn state enough. And I hate the fact that big market cities like your Californias, you get so damn lucky with getting all these superstars to your teams and your cities. You're so damn lucky by having all these baseball teams that you don't even support. I'm sorry if I spit on you. It's just you big market cities are so damn lucky. It's because California is shaped like an L because you're a bunch of damn losers.
Okay, first of all, what are you saying Cleveland is not attractive? I mean, we're here.
No, we are, yeah.
You are here.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see for other reasons, that way.
I'm actually from...
No, well, you'll get someone that's never been...
From PA?
Now I am.
You'll get someone that's never been to Cleveland. Okay, just like me. I've been to New York City, and I said, oh, my God, I can see why we're called a small market.
You passed on a Black and Mild that was $9.
Exactly, but at the same time, I get we're a small market city. I get we're a small market town. But, I'll tell you after the show. But these big market cities, like, I feel like they just take things for granted. Like, they always get first pick when it comes to, like, the movies, the women, the sports athletes. It's boring. It's tired. It's corny. And no disrespect to Mr. LeBron James. The moment you went to the Lakers, I said, I don't care if you win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 championships there, homie.
The Miami Heat.
I don't care. That will always be Kobe's team. That will be Shaq's team. That will be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's team. But here you want to go try to chase them and wear their purple panties and try to, pass their scoring titles.
Purple panties.
Okay, so
that's offensive.
Right, so to bring up a little topic about what you just went off on, what is the only sport where people don't necessarily go to a team because of the attractive city? What's the only sport that happens?
What do you mean?
It's the NFL. It's the NFL.
I want to play in Florida because it's an attractive city, right. But the NFL doesn't do that.
The NFL doesn't do that. And you know why? You know why? Because it's the only one with a structured salary cap. NBA still does not have a structured salary cap. You could pay as much as you want in taxes to go way over your salary cap. Dan Gilbert did it for years, but that's just because we had LeBron.
Right.
As soon as LeBron had the chance to get out, he did, and he did it twice.
Yeah.
Because of a non-structured salary cap. It doesn't happen in the NFL. It only happens in the MLB and in the NBA.
He's right. I mean, I've been saying we need a salary cap for years.
Yeah, no,
especially for
MLB. I think
like,
since we did this back in, I don't even freaking know anymore.
March, April.
Yeah, you've probably said that if I could take a tally, it'd be more than 5.
Oh yeah, dude, salary cap is a must. Like that's the only way you're going to get these small markets to compete. It's the only way you're going to get the Cleveland.
You know what?
It's the only way it's going to happen.
Your Minnesotas, exactly.
So here's the thing though. Obviously, we're talking salary cap right here, and we will have our iRacing interview at 9:00. So Adam Laporta, stay tuned.
Is he watching?
Yeah, he is. He will be. If not, he has a shout out for free.
Cool.
But anyways, though, you have salary caps. We're going to end up diving into Patrick Mahomes. But again, this is going to be the part when we end up having the one-hitters. Okay. So the one-hitters, again, the last topic for the NBA. I forgot who mentioned it, but the 8 teams on the bubble.
I mentioned it.
Of course you did. But the 8 teams on the bubble is a possibility that they play in Chicago, not in Orlando. And Larry Nance ended up tweeting out that... The hell was that?
I burped.
Never heard of burp before?
Not on air. I'm professional. You should know this.
You're professional?
I try to be.
I mean, he's right.
I hate you. Anyway, shut up.
You probably have the quietest farts, don't you?
No, because the farts that you're talking about is actually what... It's not out of your... I'm not getting there.
No, he does. It's just basically a wind tunnel.
Yep.
God, I hate you all. Anyways, with Larry Nance Jr., he ended up making the joke that it's going to be the Cavs-Warriors Part 4, which in actuality, I want to say it's Part 5, but with Larry Nance on the team, it would be Part 4. So with him on the team, it's part 4, but it is part 5 in total. But guys,
Larry Nance was on the championship team.
2017, right? 2018, 2019, 2020. That's 4.
They weren't on it last year.
I could have sworn he joined us like 18 or so.
Yeah.
So what part 4? It's still wrong either way.
It's still wrong. But for him, it's part
5 and then part 2
for him. Yeah.
But anyways, though, are you excited as Cleveland Cavalier fans to actually see the fact that there is that possibility that you end up seeing Kevin Love, Colin Sexton?
I don't care. These 8 teams, they need it. Like I said last week or the week before, they absolutely need this work because they are garbage. They're at the bottom of the league, and if you have the rest of the league getting to play competitive basketball and getting better while we sit on our thumbs at home, that's not good for the development of those young players. Because maybe the Warriors are the only one because they're injury prone right now, and they have a lot of guys out. They're the only ones. They're the only ones. They're like, okay, we could sit, but these young guys, these trash bottom of the barrel players in the NBA need this extra work to develop and get better.
Yeah.
Does anybody else want to add another?
He's right. Yeah, instead of just like you said, sitting on your thumbs. I mean, you're not going to get a participation trophy. You're a professional athlete. You still got a job to do. And even though we're not in this makeshift playoffs, those guys still want to go out there. Earn your money.
Oh yeah.
They're possibly maybe not getting paid right now. Who knows that? But go out there, earn your money, play with your comrades that you haven't seen in quite some time, and just be healthy, stay in shape.
And eventually I do want to end up getting into something that we had on the show planned a while back. Was on a Zoom call, Colin Sexton and Kevin Love during an interview. Like literally Colin Sexton popped in the interview and they didn't see each other in however long, but we'll probably get to that next Monday maybe, or else it just doesn't exist anymore. But on to the next topic with NFL. Patrick Mahomes, we finally figured out the amount of money this man is making.
Yeah.
Obviously we go back to salary cap. He's making 10 years worth, 10 years long, $503 million. It's the first $500 million contract in sports history.
Hold up. Who's this joker that called me out last week? Who's this joker that dogged my Patrick Mahomes injury comment?
On Monday?
I believe he plays on your softball team.
Patrick White?
Patrick White. Oh, my God. That's why you're gargling Patrick Mahomes, because you had the same name. $503 million?
Nobody is worth
$500 million, Patrick.
No, people are worth $500 million, but
no sport athlete.
Freaking child.
Not when you can risk getting an injury, missing half a season with a dislocated knee. Wow. It's going to happen again. The only way Patrick Mahomes lasts all 10 years in Kansas City is if he changes the complete style of his game, and every time he's about to hit, he cowers to the ground like Tom Brady has for the past 10 seasons.
The reason why I think the Kansas City Chiefs, if I offend anybody with saying that, I think the reason why they gave him that much money is because they're still riding the high on winning that first Lombardi. Well, their second Lombardi in, decades apart from one another. So I think they're still riding that high like, we found our guy, we found our man. Don't put your eggs in one basket. Don't count your chickens before they hatch to their front office. I can honestly see the Cleveland Browns doing the same thing if we was to win the big game.
No.
And Baker Mayfield's going to make this much. He won the Cleveland Browns their first Super Bowl. That was even weird even saying that in one whole sentence. I can see the dumb front office doing that.
I'm not letting it happen. Why are you going to pay Baker Mayfield $500 million if they win a damn Super Bowl?
Because people
but you
are
can't pay Lindor.
It's different.
Two different sports.
If you're having money in the city.
Okay, so there's money in the city. They don't mean like, I'm the Browns. Hey, can I borrow some money from you, Dolan? Yeah, you can, Mr. Brown. Hey, then can I get $1 from you, Mr. Griffin? Like, I don't think they do that.
It don't work like that.
Brown?
Jesus. That was offensive. And second of all, we were just talking about the NFL having the only structured salary cap.
Right.
What kind of team can you put around Patrick Mahomes for the next 10 years when he's eating up $50 million each year?
You're just a Steelers fan. That's why you had a little mini stroke about that. Dude,
no, I'm an Indians fan first. That's my priority. Right. I don't want to see If you're paying Baker Mayfield $300 million, that should be money that...
You're acting like I said they're going to do that now. I'm saying if the Browns ever won the Super Bowl, I can see the front office. Show me the money!
It's just dumb, man.
It is dumb. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break, but look.
All right, okay, with the attitude. Jesus, sorry I asked.
The last topic, though, for the NFL, I know it's a one-hitter, but it's just the fact. I want quick answers here. LaDainian Tomlinson said that Nick Chubb will lead the NFL in rushing in 2020. What's your answer, yes or no?
Yes.
I believe so, yes, because LaDainian Tomlinson was an effing beast.
No, because of Christian McCaffrey, Chubb will be 2.
That's it. We'll be back after this on the We Like Sportz podcast.
Manscaped. It's like an iCarly. They started their episodes like I Might Switch.
Maybe not this time of year, but 120 degrees Fahrenheit track temp. Air temp's not that bad, but that track temp is scorching.
And grip is always lacking when it comes to Sonoma, mind you. Whenever you reach the top end of the gears, and if you hit the brakes the wrong way, your car's likely sliding on corner entry. You're likely also spinning on corner exit. So this is very treacherous today for these competitors. Keep an eye on that wind speed as well. Already 17 kilometers an hour or so. That can mean some of the cars could gust around a little bit on some of these corners and have a harder time sticking around some of the elevated parts of the track today.
And you talk about the elevation changes. One thing I really love about Sonoma is that elevation change. It does bring about some interesting dynamics with some blind corners, especially up at turn 1. You rise over the crest, you can't see what's going on at the exit of the...
So welcome back to the We Like Sportz podcast for the last segment of the day. As you see scrolling at the bottom of the screen at 9 o'clock, we were talking about iRacing with Mike Howerton. Mike, how's it going?
Dude, it's going good. Haven't been in the wrestling ring for a couple of years, but kind of enjoying myself these days.
Well, we have Parker Pierce that's a wrestler now too, and he completely understands the professionalism inside of the ring and completely with the iRacing too. So, I mean, if anybody gets it out of all of us, it's him, unfortunately. But anyways, though, we brought you on today because this is kind of a newer thing. I mean, you ended up having NASCAR racers, specifically Bubba Wallace, losing a sponsor because he got pissed off because he couldn't race well. And I mean, I've seen you on Facebook. You're super competitive with it. I mean, I've had a friend that ends up having the whole entire setup with the wheel, the chair, the gas, the brake, the throttle, all that fun stuff. Obviously, we just want more information, man. Tell us about iRacing, your experience with iRacing, and just what got you into it. Let's start off that way.
Yeah, well, so like I've been sim racing for, I don't know, man, 15, 20 years, something like that. Back in the day, shows my age. Back in the day, I was in college. I had the old Microsoft. They called it Microsoft force feedback steering wheel. It was like the first one that had like force feedback in the wheel. And they had some NASCAR games out back then, like a NASCAR racing, and it was like NASCAR 2000. They had the 2003 season, which is like was the last version they released. And I used to race back on it some. And they had some stuff where you could do online competition. With that, but and you could also race by yourself. But anyway, I did that and then put it down for a while after that. And the people who started iRacing, they bought the engine. The company named Papyrus had the engine, and it was the same engine that drove the game for that NASCAR 2003 series and 2000 and stuff. They bought the engine and then revamped it, added better graphics and stuff to it, and started iRacing. I think it was back in 2008 or 9, something like that is when they started iRacing up. And anyway, then I've done a lot of other stuff. I have had, I like Forza Motorsports on the Xbox. And I've done Project Cars 1 and 2, a set of courses. So like I've been sim racing for a while, and I put it down for a few years. And then I got back into it about 5 or 6 years ago, pretty heavy, and picked me up a new wheel, a new steering wheel and pedal set and stuff. And was racing for a while. But here, whenever the coronavirus stuff started and everything, I'd heard about iRacing for a few years, and people really been talking about it, talking about, it was expensive, but it was like the best place to do competitive racing. And so once the coronavirus stuff started, I was watching it on the Fox broadcast of the NASCAR Invitationals that you guys were watching, where Bubba Wallace lost his sponsor and everything. And so I was watching those, and I really saw how great iRacing was. And I like oval racing and NASCAR racing better than road racing. And so really, iRacing is really the only thing out there that really does oval racing well. So I for my birthday this year in April, my wife let me get a brand new upgraded pedal set again and wheel and pedal set again. So I got a real nice one now. I've got the chair, I've got the whole setup now, and have been rolling iRacing now for a couple of months, and it's gotten really competitive. I moved up really fast, and I've always liked sim racing. The more equipment you have, I mean, I've even got a H pattern shifter and everything to go with my setup. So the more equipment you have, the better equipment. It really turns it into an awesome experience. I mean, it's the closest thing you get to driving a real car. I even race in VR, so I have my VR headset on, and it's just like you're in the car. So it's awesome.
So with like the whole entire like iRacing setup, I mean, I've seen videos before with like people that, I'm not saying that you're not competitive, but I'm assuming that you're not getting like the huge sponsors yet, like some of the big YouTubers that end up having all that. No. They have like Coca-Cola sponsoring them and this, that, the other thing, and they have their 3-screen setup, and they're just very into it. And I mean, like you said, it's very lifelike. Like, you have the temperature on the track, and that impacts you with your racing. You customize your car. Like, what all, like, obviously, like, you have your wheel set up, but when it comes to the investment of it, like, what would you end up recommending people for the investment portion? Like, obviously, I would assume that you need to like racing, but other than that, what would you recommend investing?
Yeah, wow. So there was a guy who just sent me a message on Facebook the other day asking the same type of question, like, how much is this going to cost me? Like, what kind of equipment would I need to get, and how much would I need to spend in order to really get into to start into iRacing and do it competitively? And I was like, well, it depends on what you have already. But this guy didn't even have a computer. Like, I think all he had was like a tablet or something. So he didn't even have a computer to run it yet. So he needed the whole thing. And you know, I was pricing stuff out for him. And like, if you start from scratch and you don't even have a computer, you have nothing. I mean, you're looking at probably anywhere from $1,600 to $2,000 to get into it. Because, I mean, a gaming PC that will run it really well, especially if you want to do VR or triple monitors. Some people argue back and forth whether triple monitors or VR is a better experience. I personally prefer VR. You just cannot – I can't even explain to you. Like, you can look into the apexes of the turns, which you can't do on monitors as well. Just the 3D version. I can see the turns coming. I can see when to brake. Without having to find as many marks on the track, because it's just like you're driving a real car. The depth perception and stuff is there. I just don't find that as much on a monitor, because everything's squished into a 2D monitor. Even if you got the wraparound, so you can see better on the side with the 3 monitors. So, but the people who prefer 3 monitors like the clarity, because that's one thing VR is lacking is a bit of the clarity when you're looking through it. The resolution is just not high enough in the headsets yet. So it depends on what you like. But anyway, point is yeah, I mean, for a decent gaming PC with a graphics card that'll run it, I mean, you're looking at a minimum of $600-700 for the PC. To get a decent wheel and pedal set, you're looking at $350 to $450. Really, you can get you like a Logitech. They got like a Logitech G29 or Logitech 920, which is the Xbox version, or the G29 is for PlayStation and PC. So Logitech, and they offer a shifter with that, and you're looking at about $300 to $350 for the package there. Thrustmaster has some really cheap offerings, but nothing's really cheap right now. There's a lot of supply shortages with all the coronavirus stuff going on. So you're paying more for used stuff now than you would have bought it new 6 months ago. So it's kind of driven the price up. But in order to get a really decent mid-range wheel, you're looking at a minimum of $350, $400. There's a couple really nice mid-range options. Thrustmaster is a really good option. They make the T300, which works with PlayStation and PC, and then they make the TX, which is the same wheel, but it's compatible with Xbox and PC, and that's the one I have, is a Thrustmaster TX. I got a 3-pedal set with the clutch and everything, and the Thrustmaster shifter. It's a 7-speed shifter with reverse. So it's got eight gear slots on it. So, but with NASCAR, you only need 4 in reverse. But yeah, so and that shifter alone costs between $125 and $150, depending on what kind of a deal you can get on it. So you do that. You got to have your iRacing subscription, which right now they're doing 50% off for 2 years, which is $99 for 2 years. But that doesn't get you the tracks. The tracks are $14.95 per track, and the cars are $11.95 per car. So it really adds up after a while. But yeah, just for your basics, for your iRacing subscription and all the equipment you need, if you get a 3-monitor set, you're looking at about $150 to $200 per monitor. So yeah, you have $600 in monitors if you're doing a triple monitor set. But if you want to get a good VR headset, you're still looking at about $600. So you add all that up, software and hardware included, just to start out, you're looking at about $1,600. But if you already have a gaming PC, then all you gotta do is get the wheel pedal set and buy the software, and you can start on a single monitor, and if you want to buy a headset later. So it all just depends on what you have. You can get into it for as cheap as $350 to $400 and as expensive as $1,600 to $2,000 if you have nothing.
Wow, Mike.
So it's quite the investment.
That's insane. Mike, this is Parker Pierce from the We Like Sportz Podcast.
Professional.
I have a question for you, because growing up playing video games and everything, I used to play those NASCAR games back in the day, and, driving around in Grand Theft Auto, I always had to play in third person's perspective of the car. Now, for iRacing, is it required that you have to race in first person?
Yeah, for iRacing, you have to. The only view is the cockpit view. Now, when you go back and do replays, or you're watching a race that's being broadcast, you can pick between a lot of different camera angles. They have 3 different television type views, and you can do like the rear view behind the car, third person and stuff. But yeah, when you're driving in the race, the only option is in the cockpit from the driver's perspective. Yeah.
So I got a question for sponsors and stuff like that. Are you getting sponsors, or do you have sponsors? How does a sponsorship work like that?
Yeah, okay, so I've started racing on a team. We don't have any sponsors yet, but so when you get into iRacing, basically you get into some lobbies and you get into some races with people. I mean, every race is with people. You don't race against AI or computer cars. It's all people on the other end. So when you're in, they have an open radio, and you just push a button to talk on the radio, and we talk and chat and stuff. And if you start doing well, a lot of times some of the better drivers will start to recognize you, and they'll start helping you with setups on your car, because if you run open setups, you got to do your own setup from camber to toe to springs to brake bias. I mean, you got to set the whole car up. And so they'll help you with setups, give you advice to help you get faster. If you race clean, you don't wreck people all the time and stuff. And so then eventually, you'll get invited to race with other people, and some guy, it was about 4 or 5 guys that invited me to join with them, and I got on the team with them. It's called Thunderstruck, and we help each other with setups and stuff. And so it's that way with the sponsors and stuff. I've been there's a couple of teams that race all the time on there that have paid sponsors. And so if you start racing them well, finishing ahead of them, being real clean and respectful to them, they'll start to invite you. And that's kind of how that stuff kind of starts happening, is you race clean, you race respectful, you get fast, and people start to recognize you that you race with. They'll talk to you on the radio while you're racing, and then they'll message you a lot of times and invite you to that kind of stuff.
I think the We Like Sportz podcast needs a car. I think we need a wrap.
Yeah, we can do that. In fact, I'll plug a website. It's called Trading Paints. It's really odd because iRacing doesn't have all the options you think it has with paint schemes and stuff. You're like, Peyton was like, well, you can make your own car and stuff. Well, you can, but it's not in iRacing. iRacing has very basic paint and sponsor stuff you can put on it. But there's a website. There's all kind of third-party tools that work with iRacing. In fact, iRacing encourages these third-party software tools. And one of them is called tradingpaints.com. And you can go there, and for $23.99 a year, you get the pro membership where you can build your own paint jobs. So I'll tell you what, you all send me some of your logos and graphics and stuff, and I'll make a paint scheme for you for it.
Nice. So if you do that, then we gotta put you on the ticker and stuff. We gotta make it fair. We gotta market you out there. You're gonna market us. Right. So if We Like Sportz is gonna have a car, it's gotta be with you.
Absolutely. Yeah, so if you're getting new to iRacing, it's tradingpaints.com, and you can build your own paint schemes. And they also have a ton of them you can download.
Nice.
Okay. What's up, man? My name is Riggs of the We Like Sportz Podcast. I have like a 2-part question. Number one, sure. I know you're going to play a video game, and that's fine because I like to motivate myself before I, do my Super Bowl or my NBA Finals. Do you play music to motivate yourself before you race? And if you do, what song? And how does bathroom breaks work during that?
You don't get any?
That's a good question, actually, the bathroom break one. So So the first one is no, I don't really play music. I'm not listening to a lot of music. And when I do, it's usually I'm a pastor of a church. Usually when I listen to music, it's gospel music and stuff. I used to listen to country and stuff back in the day and pop, and I used to listen to a little bit of hip hop. But I'm not a music guy. I'm not musically inclined at all myself. I can't dance. I can't play music. I can't sing. It's horrible. If music was a gift that God never gave me in any way, shape, or form. So I listen to it some, but not often. So no, I don't do that. But the bathroom break question is an awesome question. So a lot of the races I race on iRacing, once you get you start with a rookie license, and then you get a D license and a C. When you get to the C license, your races start getting longer. They might be like hour races. You race the Gander Truck Series, and you can also race the 1987 NASCAR Legend cars and stuff, and some races. And then when you get a B license, you can race the Xfinity Series cars. And when you get your A license, you race the Cup cars. And license is based off how safely you drive. So the safer you drive, you can increase your license. So anyway, once you get to like the C license and above, the races get a little longer. And so they have this thing called the NIS, NASCAR iRacing Series. And it's the official NASCAR iRacing Series, and they offer half-length races, and 4 races a year are full-length races. And the full-length races are the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte, the Daytona 500, the Indy 500 or 400, the Brickyard 400. It's in Indianapolis, but it's the Brickyard 400. And the other fourth one is Talladega, I think, is a full-length race. So, man, I raced the Coca-Cola 600 this year. It was a 600-mile race, and it started at 9 p.m., the one I did. They offer one a day throughout the whole week. And the one I did started at 9 p.m. and did not end till like 2:15. Wow. So here's how I thought this. I asked myself that question. I can't go 5 hours without going and taking a leak. I just can't do it. I don't know about you, but I can't. I got to bladder like a girl.
So do you have one of those angled plastic jugs that you're always seeing at nursing homes sitting on standby?
Well, I thought about that.
I wanted to ask, but he said he was a pass, so I'm not going to go into that now.
Well, I gave serious thought to that, okay? Maybe getting a big Gatorade jug or something like that. I did. Me and a buddy of mine were back in the day when I was running the roads with guys, wrestling all the time. Man, I was wrestling like 3-4 nights a week or more. And one time we were late for a show in Pennsylvania, and we were driving down the road, and we were so late, and I was like, I had to take a leak so bad, I was ready to pee my pants in the car, and I grabbed a Gatorade bottle as you were driving down the road. Peed it in the car. Man, wrestling stories are crazy. Anyway, because you couldn't miss bell time. Anyway, anyway. So I thought about that, but I got a bathroom real close to where I race, so I figured if I had to pee real bad, if there was a wreck, so I was like begging for somebody to wreck, So like there's a caution, like at Charlotte or like one of the 1.5 mile tracks, 2 mile track, 2.5 mile, but at least the 1.5 miles, you got about 50 seconds or so, maybe a minute. But for the pace car to make a lap around them, So if you time it right, you can enter the pits, get your tires changed, shoot to the bathroom as quick as you can, take a leak, and then run back in the car. I think on that 600-mile race that lasted 5 hours, I think I had to do that twice.
You cannot play my sports game. The second it's the halftime report, I'll let that thing go. Shaq and Kenny will speak it over. Volume's turned up. I'm in the bathroom. I wash my hands. Come right back. Look at my double score, and I'm going to win the NBA Finals. But thank you for your answer, sir.
Yeah, I did that the other day. It's a funny story. I did that the other day. We were racing in Kentucky this weekend. It's a 1.5 mile track, but it's a quick 1.5 mile. And I did that the other day. And my buddy of mine was racing with me. We were talking on Discord, so we didn't have to talk on the radio with everybody else. And we were chatting back and forth on Discord. I was like, man, when I pit this time, I got to take a pee break. And I ran back in the bathroom. I ran back and sat in on my thing and put my VR headset on my headphones. I said, did the pace car pass me yet? Did I miss it? Yeah. I didn't want to go a lot. I was afraid I was going to go a lot down, so I had to take a leak. But yeah, that's a very valid question. We joke about that sometimes when we race because that's something people. Yeah, when you go 2-3 hour races, that's a legit problem.
Oh, I bet, man.
So, Mike, let me ask you this. Obviously, like you said, from the money perspective, it's a lot of money that you're investing, but also at the same time, being a competitor, you do get payouts through iRacing as well if you end up getting certain licenses too, correct?
No. No. So like there's a couple of types of, there's like 3 different types of racing in iRacing. They have unofficial races where just for fun, like your wrecks don't count against you, don't count against your license. If you win, if you win the race, it doesn't count towards your statistics and your career or anything. So there's unofficial races just for fun. And then there's official races, which are the publicly hosted races that you and me and anybody else can join. And that's based off of your license. There's no payout for those. They do have like championship points you can earn and stuff, and you could win a championship, but there's no real payout. They pay you a little bit, like $10 for competing in every race for that series or whatever. iRacing, it's not really a payout. They give you an iRacing credit. You can buy a car with it or something. Gotcha. But what you're talking about, though, the third type of racing is league racing. And so there are private leagues. I've gotten invited to a couple of them where they host league races on private servers, and they get sponsors for their league. And then they will have a purse that you can win at the end of the season, or you win per race. Some of them you can win money per race, maybe $20, $100, whatever per race. Some of them it's maybe $100 or $2 at the end of a 10-week season or something like that. And that's where you get into the money. There's some league races that are invitation only that have big money purses and stuff that only the top guys on there get invited to. They have an elite pro license that's extremely hard to get. You have to be like, they only take the best of the best, and then they only take 20% of the best and put them in the pro license. So they get invited to stuff where there is big money, and the sponsors want their names on their cars and stuff. It's broadcast and thousands of people watch, and there's big money payouts. Yeah.
So Mike, I was at the bar a couple weeks ago with my girlfriend, and there was iRacing at the bar on TV. And
right, yeah.
She's like, oh, it's good to see NASCAR's back. And I'm like, honey, that's a video game. She goes, no, it's not. I go, yeah, it is a video game. When's the last time you heard a British dude announce a NASCAR?
That did sound weird. Yeah. Just walked in the Golf Channel.
Right, but so anyway, she literally thought it was that realistic. In the future, with technology advancing, can it even get more realistic than it already is?
Yeah, it's called.
As far as the driving goes, no. I mean, there's even like my next big purchase. I'd like to have a full motion chair simulator that actually moves. Like when your car slides, the chair kicks over, and stuff.
Give it time.
But the cheapest one you can get, most of them are like $5,000-$6,000. The cheapest ones are like $2,000 or $2,500, and that's the cheapest. And so I would love to get one of those. But yeah, I mean, you put a VR headset on that's super high resolution. You get one of those chairs. So VR, I think when it gets like photorealistic, when the resolution gets high enough and there's graphics cards high enough to push the pixels out, that can run like 8K, 10K pixels being sent out to a VR headset. And it's photorealistic, and you have like motion simulator chairs and stuff. I'm telling you, man, it already feels like you're driving a car right now anyway, with just the setup I have. All that force feedback coming through the wheel and stuff. You can really feel what the car's doing. So once you add like a motion simulator and VR goes to the next level, where it's photorealistic, and you can't really tell difference between that and looking out the window of your house, then yeah, I don't think there's going to be a difference really between running a real car and running something like iRacing.
Well, guys, I know it's getting close to the end of the show. Before we let Mike go, do you guys have any more questions? I know I have one specifically, but if you guys have one, feel free to shoot away for the last one.
Do you think it's weird that I listen to music to motivate myself before I play a video game?
No.
Okay.
But that's why because I don't do it doesn't mean I think it's weird you do it.
You think? Because I don't know. Like there's days I'm like, I'm going to hear LaGrange by ZZ Top, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna have a good baseball game on my buddy's PlayStation. But nonetheless, man, thank you. Appreciate your time, guys.
I will say one thing though, and my fellow wrestler will understand this. You guys keep calling it a video game, but in sim racing, those are almost fighting words to some people. It's not a video game. It's a simulator. That's like calling wrestling fake.
Everything is offensive.
That's right. It's like calling wrestling fake. You know, all the wrestlers are like, hey,
I have a Macho Man Randy Savage tank top.
Exactly. Wrestlers will tell you every bump they take and every bruise, it's all real. Like every injury I have is real, right? And so you get in iRacing, you call it a video game, you'll have people jumping on the radio yelling, it's not a video game, it's a simulator. So anyway.
Trust me, I know that feeling, and it's like, on the We Like Sportz podcast, we do this at least once a day.
Oh! That's why you moved me. I'm like, he just always.
Anyways, before we end up letting you go, though, while I try to recover myself, what is probably your favorite moment so far in iRacing for yourself as an individual?
I have two, and they were both wins at Pocono. One of them I posted on YouTube, and you saw, and it was I had that 5-lap. My first win at Pocono, man. I didn't post on that one on YouTube, or on Facebook. But my first win, dude, my knuckles were white. I was grabbing my steering wheel. I had my buddy on Discord spotting for me, talking to me, and I was nervous, sweating. Because I've been dying to get my first win. I've been racing for like 2 months. I hadn't had my first win yet, but I was really good at Pocono. Like my car was super fast. My setup was good, and I was just naturally good at it because Pocono is like a road course, but just every turn is left. It's not like a regular oval. It's a triangle with road type turns. And I had done road racing. I had done road racing so much on all the other sims that when I got to Pocono, I took to it real naturally. In fact, I won my first race at Pocono, and the Xfinity Series was my first win. So that was one, and the second one is that 5-lap shootout that I posted. It was super intense. It was crazy, man. We were racing so close to each other, all out, and it was almost a couple of wrecks, but we got through. So those are probably my two favorite moments so far on iRacing.
Awesome.
So is that what they mean by, I had to white knuckle this?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You're grabbing that thing, and it's like all the blood rushes out of your fingers. I've even had my thumbs go numb before holding the wheel so tight.
Huh.
Well, Mike, we just want to thank you one more time for coming on the show. Before we do let you go, though, where can our fans find you on social media outside of iRacing?
You can find me on I'm old, man. Facebook's about the only thing I use. I got a Twitter. I think it's at Mike Howerton, just all one word together. At Mike Howerton is my Twitter. I don't use it much. And then Facebook, you can find me at facebook.com/mhowerton79. And if you want to go look up my old wrestling fan page, it hasn't been updated in forever. I think it's facebook.com/mehowerton. And Howerton spelled Howerton.
Perfect. Well, Mike, thank you once again for coming on. We greatly appreciate it.
Brother. That's funny as hell.
Well, all right, guys, I'm glad you guys had me. It's been fun. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yep.
Well, guys.
We'll have to do it again sometime.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Guys, Thursday, 9 a.m., the replay of the We Like Sportz podcast, Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and Anchor, as well as YouTube, 9 a.m., We Like Sportz podcast, and we'll see you next week, Monday. Riggs, what time?
3:30 to 4:30.
Are you going to be here?
I will be here.
Good, because I need a tag team partner, because these two jabronis.
No, I got you. Why did I... Manscaped, take care of yourself. Your boss will thank you. CBD Delight also.
Incredible. Thank you.
Delight Cafe.
Delight Cafe.